Hello. All right. Live again. All right. So, hello and welcome everybody for our fourth and final session of the Thrive in Stress workshop series. I'm really excited to be here and I couldn't be happier to have been through this journey together, journey of awareness, journey of being mindful of how stress shows up in our life, and then empowering our bodies. And today, going deeper into the mind, which is the master of the game. So really empowering our mind so that we can thrive in stress. All right. So starting with, I wanted to take a moment to talk a bit about the mind. And talking a bit about why is it so important to have this connection to the mind. When the mind believes something, your body starts to believe it too. And when your body and mind are aligned that something is true, they start to attract it into your life. So I'll give an example. If the mind believes that something is not possible, that something that you wanted to achieve is almost impossible, the mind really believes it strongly for whatever programming the mind has been through in your life, then the body starts to believe it too. Yes, it's not possible. And when the body starts to believe it, the body starts to manifest different things biologically to stop you from doing that thing. Whether it would make you feel fatigued or stressed or anxious or weak or scared. So it would change the chemicals in your system to ensure that you're not going to do this, because it's aligned with your mind that it's not possible. So you see, the mind is not just a thought. It's just not just about bringing thoughts. Actually, every thought that you have could manifest into reality if you're strongly connected to that thought. And this is why the title of this session is Master the Mind, and you can master stress, but actually moving beyond that, when you master the mind, you can master your life. Because when you wake up every day believing that something is possible, when your mind believes it, your body starts to believe it, and you actually start to attract it towards you. So same way as you could, with the mind and body, be pushing things away from you, you could also attract things by believing they are possible. And this is called the law of attraction. Positive attracts positive. Similarly, negative attracts negative. So what you think, you attract. So let's connect this to stress, because we could go so deep into manifestation and life purpose, and it's a beautiful topic. But today the focus is the mind and stress. So a negative mindset around stress, as you could imagine, could really build up more stress in the body. Because if I have fear of stress, if I feel that stress is stopping me, limiting me, crippling me, weighing me down, then the body again starts to believe it and starts to manifest it. And a lot of us live that way because in our culture, in society, in the media, there's a lot of negative connotation associated with stress. Stress is bad, stress is harmful, stress is negative. Don't stress, manage stress. It's all about moving away from stress. But what we want and what we have been working on throughout the sessions together is realizing that stress is fuel. And it is up to you to use that fuel in a negative way that could weigh you down, or to actually use it to empower your life. So when you realize that actually stress could be positive if understood, stress could be positive if I know the right tools that I need to use in my day-to-day life. Stress could be positive if I have the right habits embedded in my everyday life. Then stress becomes an empowerment. Then if you do wake up stressed, your body will not weigh you down, because your body is going to be aligned with your mind that yes, today I have a big presentation, but I'm going to stand up, get on with my life, strengthen myself, and empower myself for my day. So mindset impacts the body, impacts what you attract into your life. Starting with the mindset of stress is manageable, stress is could be positive fuel, and I could use it to empower my life. All right. Another key important thing is that, what I just said is quite good, and if you use it, it's very positive. But I could imagine that it's not easy to just say, okay, great, so moving forward I'm going to be having a positive mindset around stress. And this is why today we're going to discuss different tools that you could use to connect mentally more to this idea of positivity around stress. Okay, so I'm not expecting that you just wake up and shift your mindset, but there are tools that can help you every single day. Sit with yourself, same as you wake up and take care of your exercise and body and nutrition. You wake up every day and take care of your mind so that you empower yourself, so that stress slash any other negative emotions and feelings and thoughts do not weigh you down, but you empower yourself to rise above those thoughts. One more thing before we jump into those tools is realizing in this moment, with empowerment around the mind, that you are not the mind and you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are thoughts that are coming to you based on old programming, culture, society, things that you've learned in your childhood, things that are surrounding you. They're universal thoughts, actually. None of your thoughts are created by you. They're mostly something that's created by the universe that you've seen somewhere and you've been programmed to think this thought. So you are not the thoughts, and your power is to stop, become aware of your thoughts, and decide what thought do you want to associate with, and what thought do you want to fuel. What thought do you want to take on in your life? What's going to serve you and what's not? That's one very important aspect about the mind. And you're not the mind either. You're a combination of body, mind, spirit, right? Your body is the car that you're driving. Your mind is the driver, right? That knows the way, tells you, let's go this way, no, this way, maybe this way is better. But the spirit is the passenger. And the passenger knows exactly where they're heading. Maybe they might not know what turn to take sometimes. The mind is there to support, but the spirit knows the direction, knows where it's headed. And they need to work together. The car needs to support the driver to get there, and the driver is just supporting the passenger, which is the spirit, on this journey. So you're not the mind, you're all three together. So just empowering yourself to realize that when your mind is taking over, you can rise above it and realize that you are more than just that, and that you can control the thoughts that are arising. All right, so you should have received your workbook. And in today's workbook, The Mind, by Mastering the Mind, You Can Master Your Life, we have a small but very powerful exercise, which is again a wheel, but this wheel is the wheel of the mind, okay? And in it, I have identified 6 areas that are essential for mental health, that are essential for you to connect to your mind every single day, so you can empower yourself to move beyond the thoughts, master the mind, master stress, master your life. All right, again, if you feel like, oh, but there's something else that I believe is also very important, you could add it. You could personalize this circle, this wheel. But here what you see are the key areas that are supportive in mental health. Also to note, like I said, it's body, mind, spirit. So it doesn't mean that that's all I need to do. This wheel works with the body wheel. We don't have a spirit wheel for this workshop, maybe some other time, but it would work with a wheel on how you take care of your spirituality as well. So it all works together, body, mind, spirit. It's never a separation. It's always about connection. It's always about the union of all three. So taking a moment to go through the wheel, and as I go through it, I'll be giving you some tips and tools on each of these brackets. And what I invite you to do is taking a moment to assess each of these areas. Am I giving enough attention and care to this area in my life? If you are, then you could evaluate it by placing a dot near the outside of the circle. If it's something that you don't give attention to, you do not put effort into, or maybe you just didn't get a chance to get into yet in your life, which is okay, we're all growing, we're all on a journey, then you place that dot closer to the center of the circle, okay? And starting with the first tool, which is practicing mindfulness. So a bit about what mindfulness is, because it is kind of a foundational tool to living in a way where you are empowered mentally. And mindfulness, so to start with, 88% of our life is lived subconsciously. And only 12% of your day, of your life, is you acting consciously. What does that mean? Subconsciously means 88% of the time, what you're doing, saying, acting is based on an old programming. You're not conscious and aware that this is what I should do. You're just doing it based on old habits, old programs, something that you've learned as a child mostly, or while growing up, or a belief that you have come to believe. And as you can imagine, a lot of this programming could be positive, but a lot of it could be holding you back. Because a lot of these beliefs are based on things that we were taught or things that we've experienced that have held a mark in our mind. I'll give an example. When I was growing up, not a true story, I'm just making something up. Let's say, someone told me that I was really young and they told me, you're ugly and that's why no one will ever love you. Very powerful when you're a child, you're 7 years old, your mind is very open to suggestions and ideas, and someone says that, even especially if it's someone you're close to or you love or you look up to. Then your mind believes it because you're so young, and you get programmed to believe as you grow up that no one will love you, right? That I am ugly. And you start to repeat this program, right? You start to repeat, I am ugly, no one will love me. I am ugly, no one will love me, all the way into your adult life. And then you find a time in your adult life where you're not being able to attract a lover or a partner, or you're not able to love yourself. And you wonder, why am I not able to do that? And it all goes back to that old programming of something or someone who has impacted you and has placed and planted something in your mind that allowed you to believe that something is absolutely true, whereas it might not be. This is a negative example, but there are other positive examples, of course. So 88% is subconscious based on old beliefs, and only 12% is awakened conscious action. Tremendous. So going back to mindfulness are these moments where I'm consciously living, where I'm able to use my all senses to be present in any moment. So I'll give a simple example. Is many of us, tend to have lunch or breakfast or dinner while doing something else, right? While we're watching TV or driving or walking or whatever, or not even having food at all, right? You're just doing it based on a cue that your body is giving you, and you just open the fridge, prepare whatever is there and move on. That's not mindful, right? Mindful eating, which is very powerful, is you actually stopping and sitting with the food, sitting with the food before it, during it, savoring the taste, the smell, using your sight to look at the food, using your mind to bless the food, using your spirit to be with the food, and then being with the food as you digest it, waiting in between one bite to another, and then after the food, actually blessing the food and being grateful. So this is an example of mindful living, right? When I'm living mindfully, I'm present with everything that I'm doing. This is an example of food. Now, when I'm present with things that I'm doing, I could be more conscious of my thoughts, right? So I can start to be conscious of, oh, why am I feeling this way? Why is this thought coming to me? Is this right? Is this wrong? Do I want to change it? So you're able to change the thoughts and impact them when you're living more mindfully. Another example of mindfulness is, being off your phone completely, maybe leaving your phone at home and walking in nature. And as you walk in nature, looking around, at nature, looking at the plants, looking at people, feeling your feet on the floor, feeling the wind on your skin, seeing something new, feeling how you're feeling. So being so connected with your emotions and feelings and sensations allows you to be mindful and allows you to live more consciously so that you can bring more relaxation, calmness, and awareness into your life so that you're not just rushing through life. So when it comes to stress, right, mindfulness is an amazing tool because rather than just waking up and saying, I'm stressed, I need to get this done, again, old programming, zombie living, you would actually stop and say, why am I feeling like this right now? What do I need? Okay, let me turn everything off. Let me take 5 minutes to breathe. Let me be with this feeling. Let me be with this emotion. Let me connect to it. Let me assess it. You sit with it, you feel it, you breathe into it, you walk outside, you look at others, you connect to something deeper, and you have a conscious, stressful moment. And you consciously impact it. Versus allowing it to impact you unconsciously based on what you were programmed to do. All right, mindfulness is a beautiful topic. It's a big topic. You could read more about it. I could share a few things if you're interested on mindfulness separately. And there are a lot of mindfulness meditations, which are meditations that allow you to sit and breathe and be with your senses so you can invite more mindfulness into your life. So I invite you to look into that. Second tool or key aspect that allows us to ensure that we're empowered mentally over stress is coping with challenges, right? Coping with challenges, and I would add to that /change, right? Coping with challenges and any form of change, because that is bound to happen. And when challenges happen and change happens, many of us tend to enter into this mind block of, again, old programming. This is hard. This is difficult. I can't do this. Why is this happening to me? Old programming, right? How can I get out of this? I hate this. I don't like this job. This is stressful. Like all of that comes up in challenging situations. And most people who face stress and anxiety are not able to cope with challenges and need to learn how to cope with challenges. So take a moment to evaluate, how do you cope with challenges? Without judgment, again, we're just here learning and becoming aware of ourselves. So what is really needed here in coping with challenges? Sometimes you do need support, one-on-one support to read if it's a big challenge and a big change that you're going through. But for yourself is shifting that mindset. Shifting that mindset away from, oh, this is challenging, this is bad and negative and tiring and awful, into realizing that, hey, this is part of life, and every challenge is here to move you into a new awakening, to know something new about yourself, to learn, to give you a new opportunity to be more you, actually. Because without challenges, you will stand still. So by seeing challenges as opportunities, you start to shift your mindset and, find the motivation to stand up to challenge, and find the resilience to move with the challenge so that you grow, rather than allowing the challenge to crush you down, because that's not the purpose. And you do that, through shifting the mindset, with empowering the body, with empowering the mind, and with empowering the spirit, right? But I do invite you to really assess, how do I cope with challenges? And are challenges weighing me down? Or do I see every challenge as an exciting new opportunity? And that brings us to positive attitude. That's the third key pillar in mental health, is positive attitude. And there's a lot of talk about positive attitude, because we don't want positive attitude to ignore a major issue that you might be having. So you don't want to be masking a mental health issue, or any form of sadness or feelings by pretending to be positive. That's not really the purpose. But the purpose, again, is, can I see a challenging situation, a difficult situation, with a positive eye? And if we think of the mind actually, in yogic science, we see it as three minds. You have the positive mind, the negative mind, and the neutral mind. And the positive mind, which is, of course, here a lot of the positive attitude, is all about seeing the opportunity in everything, right? Yes, I can do this. Oh my God, a new challenge. I'm going to take it on. I wonder what I'm going to work on. What am I going to grow in this? And what would come my way? Who am I going to meet? What's the worst that can happen? I don't care. I'm a risk taker. So this is the positive attitude. The positive mind sees opportunity. Now, the negative mind, it's not negative as in bad, but it's negative as in it tries to see the risks. This is the mind that comes in and says, hey, but be careful, this is kind of challenging. Do we really want to do this? What if we fail? What if they judge us, right? So this is sometimes good, because sometimes we need, that person who is not a risk taker in our lives, but sometimes could hold us back. So, and the neutral mind stands in the middle and says, okay, I took all the positives. I know what the opportunity is. I understand the risks. And now I'm going to decide and act from a neutral space. Not from a space of, yeah, let's do this. And not from a space of, I hate this challenge, right? From a space of calm, poise, serenity, centering, and grounding that is very neutral, that allows me to act with neutrality. So inviting that positive attitude is, in any moment that is challenging, taking a step back and say, okay, this is my negative mind. Thank you. I understand the risks. I understand why this is challenging, but let me look at the opportunity and what is positive here. What's happening? How can we use this positively? So consciously, with mindfulness, inviting moments in your day where you ask yourself, could this be serving me? What could I take from this? And how could this be positive? All right. So trying to see things with both minds and not with just mind, and then deciding with the neutral. This brings us to positive self-talk. Very crucial. Because, the mind is like a friend, right? And it's kind of like your best friend, because you're sitting with your mind all day. There's no escaping, right? You're sitting with your mind. It's always there. So the conversations that you have with your mind are very important, right? And many times the conversation is negative self-talk, which is like, again, I hate this. I can't. I'm not good enough. I will fail, I can't do this, why me? All of these negative self-talk. Again, sometimes these are so embedded in the subconscious mind that it's hard to just wake up and change it. But step number one is you becoming aware of how do you talk to yourself. What I invite you to do, if this is something you feel that you struggle with or that you feel is important to you, that you're not really talking positively to yourself, is write down all the ways in which you negatively talk to yourself. What are the repeated thoughts that you say to yourself that are negative daily? Okay? And just becoming aware of that is very powerful, because when you see that on a paper, you're like, whoa, I'm saying that to myself? I wouldn't even allow anyone on the outside to say this to me. Why am I allowing me to say this to myself, right? So noticing what are you saying to yourself. And then on a column next to these words or statements, what I invite you to do is ask yourself, what would a good friend really say? So I'll give an example. If one of the things I notice is that I always say to myself, you're not good enough. Right? You're not good enough. You're still not experienced in this. That's not positive self-talk. So I'm going to take this and I would say, what would my friend, a good friend, tell me? Well, a good friend would tell me, hey, you're learning, you're growing, you're doing your best, you're doing great. Just be patient with yourself. You're already doing great. So you see, positive self-talk. Step number one, realize and notice, how do you talk to yourself? Please know that how you talk to yourself is being planted in your mind and being planted in your body and being planted in what you manifest in your life. So switching that into a positive self conversation that allows you to invite positive things into your life. All right, and that moves us into therapy. Why do I have therapy there? Because these are heavy conversations, right? Positive self-talk, attitude, coping with challenges, mindfulness. These are tools that you could definitely integrate into your life. At the same time, some things are so embedded within us that we need support, and it could take time. So therapy is a crucial tool that I just invite you to take a moment to say, do I need support in mental health? Do I need to go deeper into why am I having this conversation with myself? Why am I living so subconsciously in old programming? Why am I not able to change this? Why am I still feeling this way every day? Why are my thoughts against me? If it's also heavy, then therapy is a very powerful tool. And there's so many different therapeutic tools out there. If you need support, then just reach out. I'm happy to help you find the right therapy for you. But therapy is a very important tool that could guide you into excelling. And the last tool here, which I would say is one of the most important tools for self-work. So if you're not someone who's doing therapy, if you're not someone who is getting support, then meditation is one of the crucial tools that can be your own self-therapy in a way. So what is meditation? Very briefly, meditation is a cleanse of the mind, right? It is a tool that allows you to clear out these old programmings in the subconscious mind and bring more into consciousness positivity and tools that will allow you to grow and thrive. Okay, so meditation is a way in which you can sit with yourself and almost take like a mental shower of what's not working for you, what's not serving you, and empowering yourself to be more present, mindful, calm, relaxed, so you can face the day with strength, with resilience, where you're able to see things more positively, cope with changes more positively, and invite the words that you want your mind to repeat so that your body believes it and you act on it in your life. Wow! Honestly, meditation changed my life. When I started changing my life, I didn't seek therapy at that time. At that time, I did yoga, and I did a lot of yoga, and I did a lot of meditation, and I still do. It's my daily practice. And I would say meditation was the trigger point for me to realize that, whoa, what am I doing? That my potential is so much bigger than where I was stuck at that time in my life. And meditation allowed me to see that. So if you're new to meditation, there's so many tools out there. You could either meditate with me on YouTube, on Tune In with Jana, but also Headspace is a beautiful app with thousands of meditations guided for beginners, for all levels, and you could progress through programs. So I invite you to download Headspace. Another tool or app is Insight Timer. I also like it a lot. So just jump on it and start. I would say so many people ask so many questions about meditations, how and when and where. Just start. And as you start, you will start to learn about the different tools and about when and where and how long and all of that. Start small, 3 to 5 minutes. Keep it regular. So one meditation every 2 weeks is really not beneficial. You want to meditate every day for 3 minutes. That's beneficial. And number 3, don't worry too much about the tool, as in, should I do chanting or breathing or visualization? Just try different things and see what's going to work for you. And just start meditation, all right? And reach out if you have any questions. I am a meditation teacher, so I love this topic and I'll be happy to help. All right, guys, so these are the 6 key pillars that you need to have in your life for a strong mindset, right? For strong mental support. And I invite you to reflect on that on page 3. And then I've added some tips and tools around meditation specifically that could serve you in our workbook. Otherwise, what I also want to share are 2 other tools that I love to use. Number 1 is positive affirmation cards. You could buy this anywhere on Amazon or any local shop that you know. And why I love these is that, every morning I wake up and I want to set a positive tone for the day. And, I just take a moment to sit with the cards. Ta-da-da-da. I could breathe a bit and just, ask the universe to guide me towards positivity on this day. And I'll pick a card and I receive a beautiful message, right? I don't know if you could see it, but, this message is about gentleness. I speak with gentleness and I listen with gentleness. I align the gentlest part of myself and I take joy in being receptive, open, and unafraid. So it's just an example of a simple yet very powerful tool in inviting those positive thoughts, positive affirmations into your life. You can do this daily. And another amazing tool is journaling. See, I have a huge book of journals. I have books and books of journals. And what journaling does is that it allows you to sit with your thoughts. So rather than feeling like your thoughts are against you or so embedded in you, you just put them down on a paper. And when you drop them down, again, it's like a meditation because you're cleaning them. You're clearing them. You're like taking out the garbage. You're putting them down on a paper. And once you're done, you just feel lighter. Another key way to use journaling is gratitude. What I like to do is every day before I sleep, I would write 3 things I'm grateful for. I've been doing this for more than a year. And it has been research-based that people who do daily gratitude over the long run invite more well-being and joy into their life. This is based on a study that was done in the realm of positive psychology. So it's amazing how when you invite positivity into the mind, again, positive attracts positive, and you're over the long run attracting more well-being. So 3 positive things before you sleep is also a beautiful tool. And another tool is write your own affirmations. So if today, I have a big presentation the next day and I'm feeling stressed, anxious, I'm feeling like I can't do it. Again, all of these negative thoughts, you're not good enough, no one's gonna like you, you don't have the experience, whatever. I would sit down and I would invite that positive friend who's going to change those thoughts into a positive tone. So I would say, I am experienced. I've been practicing this for this many years. I have support around me, and I can stand up in front of any crowd to talk about what I love. So I would write positive affirmations down. So a key tip on positive affirmations is always start with the words I am. Now, why is that important? Is because when you say I am, the subconscious mind believes that it's already true. It says, oh, this is something known for me. It's not a new idea. I am that. So you start to actually believe it mentally. And it starts to shift your mindset into a more positive one. So these are two very simple tools for mental health that you can invite into your day, 5 minutes before you sleep or in the morning. I would recommend, if you'd like to read more about journaling, there's something called Morning Pages Journal by Julia Cameron. She's amazing. She wrote a beautiful book on the power of journaling, but on a much deeper level spiritually, how it has awakened her spiritually and changed her life to find her life purpose just through journaling. So it could get deep, but my invitation is, again, start small, journal daily for 5 minutes. You can do it in the morning or before you sleep, and just invite those small tools around the house that keep you reminded of your positive, beautiful being, because that's the purity of who you are. Everything else has been programmed, you've learned by culture and society, but most of it is not really you. What you really are is pure joy, pure love, pure potential, abundance, and happiness. So you can live a stress-free life if you learn how to master the mind and rise above the mediocrity of day-to-day life. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching this. If you came all the way here, then you've made it all the way for our 4 sessions. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. I'm here to support you, so please do reach out. And I hope this has served you. I know it's a lot of information, but realizing that it only takes a step number 1 into saying, I'm aware of how I feel, I'm aware of what I need, of what I want, and I'm ready to change my life. That's all it takes for you to be able to change. Sending you all lots of love, and see you again soon.